Hello? Hello, hello. Can you guys see me? Hello, hello, hello. You can see me? Oh, okay, I can't see myself, so I'm just like sitting here waiting. Anyways, hi, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you come across this video. Thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of time with me. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscribes. Everyone who's booking, making purchases off the website, pledges to the Patreon, sending things to the P.O. Box, purchases off the wish list, and tipping the Clarista. Thank you. I love you guys so much. Listen, I missed you guys so much. So I was like, I'm just going to go live and we're going to do the collective there. Rather than like pre-recording like I have been. So let's get into a collective message. But first, I do have like an intuitive feeling about where this message is going to go, or maybe it's just I don't know, we'll see. But first, I had mentioned doing a deck giveaway, right? Because Cassandra had sent me these 2 decks, and her intention was to like kind of give, she wanted to like give them away, or, whatever, however it went. It was like either me or just kind of give back in that type of way. So, because I want to use these decks for a little bit, I am going to continue with her intention and take a couple of these decks and give them away. Okay? So, we have the Wild Offering Oracle, okay, which is a pretty cool deck. It's these ones. You guys have probably seen it. Those are the backs, and then the fronts are kind of like these. With all these different abundance, gratitude, things like this. Okay, trust. And then there's these little kind of like, they're almost like little prayers on there. Okay, so if you're interested in that deck, once this is posted, not on the live chat, but on the video chat, if you're interested in this one, put like a little flower. Okay. And then also the Fairy Temple Oracle. Okay, so this is my big fairy deck. Very cool. If you're interested in this one, in the video chat, like in the comments, not in the live chat, but in the comments, put like a fairy or something. And then I will enter these in and we will get our winner. Oh, wait. Can you guys still see me? Are we still doing it? Yeah? Okay. Because it's saying there's an error. I don't know. Okay, sorry guys. Cool. So yeah, so just keep these in mind, and then I will draw for these, let's say probably in the next couple of days. Okay? And we will get these shipped out. Okay? So 2 winners, 2 decks. If you want the fairy one, put a fairy in the comments, and if you want the flower one, or this Wild Offering Oracle, throw a flower up in there. Okay? All right. Cool. Took me a minute to pick out which ones I was ready to part with. Sorry. Okay, let's get a collective message though. All right. And make sure that you're putting the comments not in the live chat, but in the chat, or the comments in the on the video, so that way I can see them so they don't get missed. Okay. Now, intuitively coming into this, okay, there is something, this full moon, or just whenever you come across this video, but I feel like the full moon probably has a lot to do with it if you're experiencing this at this time. But there is something where it's like something is manifesting, but it's a reflection of an old belief about, I feel like, yourself, okay? And it may show up in the form of, I'm kind of picking up on like something that you feel. There's like this energy of like feeling like you missed out on something, feeling like, you know, you were like walked away from, or maybe even like abandoned in some type of way. Or there's also this energy too of like steadily pouring into something, someone, something like that, and not feeling like you're getting you know, that kind of return energy. And it may actually be, it may be the situation where that may be kind of present in the physical, right? However this shows up for you. But it feels like it's something to do with a subconscious belief about yourself and what you feel you deserve. It's not real. It's an illusion that is showing up for you to see past here, okay? And I do feel like because there's kind of been this like vibe and like, you know, of like this need for like unconditional love, right? Like kind of coming up in the energy, I think that that's part of it, right? I feel like it has to do with a situation in the past where there was like conditional love, right? It was, you know, there's like this energy of not being understood, or like I said, things very conditional, right? There could have been some sort of judgment. And so there's almost this energy where it's like you have like been passing that same kind of energy or that same kind of like whatever it is towards yourself, which is then manifesting this, whatever this is in the physical, to be in your perception, in your reality. Okay? So it's like whatever this is, right? It's coming from a space of like you've picked up on these basically the opportunity is a space for you to show yourself some sort of unconditional love, right? And allow the universe to mirror that back to you. Okay, but there seems to be kind of like this resistance because of that belief from the past where someone, right, universe, God, source, the divine, right, whatever your preference is, you know, but it's like where someone in the past, they didn't reflect that to you. And so it created this like belief of like, okay, so if I do this, this, and this, or if I don't do this, this, and this, or if I show up in this way, or if I'm, you know, anything out of a certain, right, then it doesn't work, right? Something, you know, they'll leave, or it's over, or I'll lose it all, or, you know, like something, I don't know. So let's dive into it a little bit further here and see exactly, there's also, it's like this, it's like, say for instance, you've had a lot of people like walk away from you in the past. For whatever reason, this keeps coming up. And they could have walked away for like different reasons, right? This could be in a multitude of areas, right? Whether it's like work or romance or like, you know, friendships or family, right? And it's like, but they did that out of their own, from their own beliefs, right? From their own, you know, limitations or projections or wounds or whatever it is, right? It's not actually a reflection of your worth. And this is what I think is coming up, because I feel like it could have shown up for a lot of you in like a lot of different ways. But it's like, this seems to be like what's coming up. So it may seem like it's almost like, you're alone, or you're finding yourself in this kind of energy here, and it's because of this belief. Okay, you get it. I'm like, did I get the nail in there? All right. What does the collective need to know about this? Yeah, look, here's that orphan card. That's what I saw in the pre-shuffle, and it was kind of gave me this, this vibe. We've got the Judge over here, okay? We've got the Emperor, okay? There's all these different energies. We've got the Five of Wands, right? That could be that internal conflict with the Page of Swords kind of causing some sort of confusion, right? But so we've got Come to the Edge. We have Orphaned here, right? It's almost like this energy of... we have Clean It Up. One more shuffle. Blessed. This Clean It Up is you. This is like you going within subconsciously and being like, yeah, no, that wasn't a reflection of me at all, right? Like, sure, maybe at that time I was, because I'm picking up, maybe you were, maybe you did make mistakes, right? Maybe you weren't perfect, okay? And that's, that's more than okay. But what I mean is like, it's like, their response to you, whoever they is, and really does feel like multiple people, right? This is probably something that was created when you were a child, but it's like their response to you was actually a reflection of their own subconscious wounding or programming or whatever. It's not actually like real. Right? So whereas you internalize that judgment like, oh, bad collective, that is bad. You do not do that, or you do not say that, or you do not feel that way, or you know what I mean? Like whatever this is, right? It gave you, it limited your space to, move around the cabin freely, right? Like it really restricted you in this like repetition, I feel like, okay? So this Clean It Up is you, kind of like taking some time and maybe like, calling on those different situations and looking at it differently and understanding, okay, so I see where that comes from you, right? I understand where I was, but now I can see it differently. I can love myself unconditionally and not accept your judgment, right? Like that type of energy is what it feels like here, okay? Because it's like, with this Come to the Edge coming before this Orphaned, this feels like it's like this Come to the Edge is really talking about authenticity, right? It's really talking about who you are to the depths of your souls and allowing yourself to be that, right? Giving yourself the courage to be that, right? And to just be yourself and to show up like you, right? But it seemed like this left you, you found yourself in a position, right, where, people were walking away or they were, it's like it seemed like you found yourself feeling orphaned here and whatever this was, right? This could be one particular situation that maybe one of you just recently went through. I'm not sure, but it feels like a development over time, okay? But all of that, like I said, it is an illusion, right? This energy that you're picking up on is simply because you internalized their judgment from their own limitations and their restrictions. The reality is that you are very blessed and unique, and you know what I'm saying? That's what this is. And so it's like, over time, right? You lost this, like, the courage to come to the edge, right? And maybe you didn't lose it completely, but things got a little bit cloudy. Things got a little bit dark. Things got a little bit just, mundane and ordinary. And but but within you, right? This is your true essence, is this bright and vibrant and blessed and, type of energy. And because they couldn't perceive you from a space of understanding, right? They judge what they did not understand. And so, therefore, along the line, you're like, oh, well, maybe my courage and my uniqueness and my authenticity isn't good, right? Like maybe it's, and so this is, I feel like, this is the illusion that you're breaking through, right? This is the energy that's kind of coming up right now. And this is what you're breaking through at this time. Is kind of this like, yeah. So we have TikTok that was kind of poking out here. Okay, so something about the clock, something about time, something about, some of you may feel like really pressured by time right now. I think you may be breaking through that as well. I'm going to go ahead and, shit, okay. Yeah, we have regeneration here. And so I feel like you're healing, dang, all those just fell, didn't they? You're healing from this, right? And then this, all that glitters, right? This is really giving that energy of like, these could also be people, right? If this was happening for a long time and it was, continuing, since you were a child, right? It's like you had it in your, there was also this programming that it's like, this is, this is the goal, right? This is the, this is what you want to go for. This is what, this is what's important in life. This is what, that type of thing. But I feel like you're coming to terms with your own authenticity, or coming back around to that and realizing, that it's, that, these are humans and earthly made desires and goals and rules even, right? Like there's something about that as well. Rules from people's restrictions, it's that type of energy here. Okay, this is the veil that's, that's being removed here, and it's showing you, right? Like all of these things that, here on this planet that, that humans, right, desire and put up on pedestals and things like that. That's just a human thing, right? Imagine we're in this ginormous universe with all of these planets and solar systems and, all these different, this is just one experience. And so it's like, there's something about coming back to terms with universal law rather than, it's not to say you have permission to break any human laws, right? But there's this energy of like, there's been some human, beliefs or restrictions or desires or whatever it is, right? That have really kind of also had implemented or had some sort of like play into creating this belief, right? Good and bad, right? Wrong and right. And like that type of energy here, okay? Yeah, so I picked all these up, and now we have milk and honey at the bottom of the deck here, okay? So yeah, so while you're like, it feels like there's kind of a lot kind of all happening at once with this healing of like recognizing that, there's certain aspects to you that are just a part of your purity, your authenticity, and other people may not see it that way, or they may have viewed it in a certain type of way here. But yeah, I feel like right now, currently in this energy, you are cleaning up this abandoned or this orphaned or this feeling of being walked away from, or, whatever it is that's keeping you from really being in this courageous energy that is natural to you. Right? And it's removing this veil that's showing you that you're just truly blessed, that, who you are, right? Okay. All right. So keep in mind, right, that, you know, to be very observant, right? Be the observer, right, at this time. Witness yourself observing what's going on around you, because the divine is giving you hints and clues about the root of this, how it's manifesting in your life, and also too, what's beyond the veil, right? What's on the other side of this? Okay, you're getting like glimpses of this. Okay, let us see. Let's go. Oh. Alright. I guess we're going to get out the Kipper deck. Yeah, there's just something coming through about all these rules and regulations and things like that humans have made up over time, right? Because, you know, because of their ego or because of past trauma experiences or wounds or things like that, right? There's all these different, and this is not to say like, you know, because these are things that... You know, I'm not saying treating others terribly is okay, or I'm not saying, you know, but this feels like, you know, you living your life a certain way or a different way, or, you know, I don't know. There's just something where it's like your very unique authenticity was misunderstood, or just, you know, again, like that type of energy, and over time... Yeah, but this is being cleaned up here. Okay? All right. Tell me. Let's get one on the come to the edge, please. Orphaned. You know, I could be talking to a masculine energy that is just being able to feel comfortable feeling their emotions again, right? Like... It could be as simple as that, right? It could be, you know, because, or even a feminine energy, right? Maybe, you know, you were at a young age, right? Your emotions were maybe shut down, right? Because, you know, I said a man, because most of the time boys are told, you know that dynamic, right? That we're really kind of coming out of, right? But there's this energy of like, that could be it too, you know? Yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to manifest in different ways. You know, this could also be like in relationships, you know, there's an energy here too, where somebody I feel like is, it's like maybe in the past you were really vulnerable in relationships, but because over time, right, people left, or they judged, or they switched sides, or they, you know, whatever it is, right, you know, there's an energy of being a little more reserved when it comes to relationships. Okay, and also, you know, there's, but again, what it happens too is like you internalize these judgments, whether, you know, or somebody has, you know, don't let me project that onto you, but, you know, before we're aware, right, oftentimes we do that unintentionally, right? So it's kind of this energy where, you know, this could show up in lots of different ways, but yeah, it's like, it's like you've dimmed yourself down, in order to kind of fit in, you know, in a type of way, or you have, or it's like, I feel like too, we can go back to maybe somebody's like judging themselves here, okay? There's like this energy of, yeah, it's like, let me keep going. Tell me what was blessed. Oh my goodness. False person. So with this come to the edge here, right, with this main male, masculine or feminine energy here, okay, the male is also like one that, the masculine energy is the doer, right? So what it really feels like is like, you know, this energy where you kind of became like a, and I've picked up on this before, right? What I feel like it's like, you know, because you're very aware at this point, right? And you know, on your journey of other people's, you know, it's like you probably are no longer internalizing some things, right? It is safe to come back out to the edge, right? You're the awareness that you have of like what others, you know, think or perceive, and you understand it's a reflection of themselves at this point. It helps you to, you know, there's something about that. But also too, you know, this could have been a masculine energy that was, you know, I'm just kind of picking up on an energy where it could have been predominantly masculine energies that created this programming, okay? Whether you are a masculine or a feminine energy. But this is giving like main character, okay? Like with this removing of the veil, right? With this, like with this veil being removed, okay? And you cleaning this energy up, right? It's allowing you to step further into being like the main character in your reality here, okay? And with it showing up in masculine energy, I do feel like there's an energy, you know, where it's like you're going to be busy doing things, right? You know, the doer, okay, is the go-getter, okay? That type of energy, okay? Okay, so we have this expectation with this orphan. This is exactly what I feel like is kind of popping up here, okay? There's something going on, and I don't know exactly what it is, okay, where it feels like there is this like expectation of, you know, and again, that's associated with that programming from in the past, right? It feels almost like you're expecting this orphaned energy, right? This abandonment or people walking away or something along those lines. And this expectation of that is a part of that programming, okay? But this may be what's kind of popping up for you. And, you know, for a lot of you, it's like, you know, a lot of you are mostly just kind of working directly with the divine, okay? It's not like there's a lot of people around you or anything like that, right? So, you know, for all of you, it could resonate differently. But for some of you, there's like this energy where I don't know, you may be expecting some sort of like abandonment from the divine, or you may be fearing that. Sorry guys about if you can hear that in the background too loud. Michael's here. He's woke up with a fever today. Is that too loud? Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah, so I don't know if there's like, I feel like honestly, you may not be consciously expecting this, but it feels like it's a subconscious thing, okay? Okay. Now we have this clean it up here with this toil and labor, occupation and poverty. This is exactly where I feel like these things could be showing up for you, right? Maybe in your finances, maybe in work, okay? This is where it could be showing up for you. It doesn't have to be, right? It could be in just in relationships or something like that, because I do feel like there may be something reflecting back to you in the physical that is like a manifestation of this limitation here, okay? It's like of this illusion is what it is. Yeah, this toil and labor is really giving that energy I was picking up in the beginning of like, you know, really pouring into something and not feeling like you're not getting whatever it is back. But it also ties into your authenticity, right? This could tie into the judgments of others as well when it comes to your authenticity. Okay. On the blessed, we got message of concern. Interesting. So I wonder why that's a message of concern. But we do have a false person here at the bottom of the deck. So this false person could be involved here. All right. That entity attachment keeps coming out here. Okay. Tell me about this main male. Come to the edge, please. Yeah, this could have been a masculine energy here because we have animosity here with this Ice King with karma. Interesting. Self-love. Right, family. What is this karma? Whoa. I'm not going to take those, but it was voodoo, mentally and emotionally unstable, in the veil. What is this karma? Okay. And this would make sense, this mentally and emotionally unstable energy here. Okay? Because there's some, this was something that maybe caused you, whatever this was, this programming, right? It really may have caused you to look for love in the wrong places. It may have caused you to, and again, that's not necessarily like their fault, right? This isn't the blame game, but this does seem like as you're healing this, as you're seeing through the veil here, it's almost like these limitations are returning, or there's something, they're mad about this here, and somebody's receiving some sort of an ice king, right? Somebody, and that's exactly that energy where it's like, that could have been the source, or at least one source from this programming, right? Somebody that's very cold, somebody that's very obviously judgmental here. Why is the animosity here? Yeah, I don't know. This person is going through something here. It's like they're going through their own judgment. And it may not have anything to do with you. You may be a part of it, right? But this is, this would be an energy, and I'm not, maybe, I don't know why we need to know this, but this would be an energy that is so willingly passing out judgment, and they're going through their own at this time. I do feel like I am picking up on maybe one person in particular in your life, but it doesn't, it feels like this would have been the person that maybe initially created the belief, or, created that self-worth image about yourself here. You know what I mean? And, yeah. It just seems like this person, like I said, it's like they were so freely just passing out judgment, you get judgment and you get judgment and you, from what I don't know, but they're not doing well, I don't think, because they're experiencing their own, their own judgments. It's their day in court, you know what I mean? It's probably just spiritual court if I were to guess, but the thing is, too, is I think that you had some sort of protection over this person. But I think that as you remove these veils, right, and form your own beliefs and step back into your authenticity, right, this person's restrictions and limitations come back to them. Because you're no longer holding on to them, right? They projected that onto you, and you held on to it. You internalized it. And as you are recognizing and realizing, oh, this person was just, wounded, or they were, limited in their own, you know, whatever, and you're just like sending these things back, right? Okay. It's almost like this person may have judged you for how you handled certain situations that this person has never been in. Okay? And now it's like maybe some of these situations are coming up for them, right? And the divine is like, "So, what's your decision going to be?" You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, you've so freely passed out judgment to others and the collective that were, you know, making decisions the best that they could with situations that they had and that they were in. And it's like now this person is finding themselves in like maybe some sort of similar situation or something. And, you know, they're going to have to make some decisions, and maybe this is happening so that they can understand and see, okay, well, now I can understand, you know, the space where, you know, the collective maybe made those decisions, or, you know, felt that way, or was experiencing that, or, you know, like that type of energy. All right, tell me about this expectation with orphaned. I feel like this is somebody who really honestly expected you to, I don't know, be alone, or to be sad, or to, you know, I don't know that this person ever anticipated on you really ever finding like happiness, but we have bliss coming out here, right? This is somebody who, again, they passed so much judgment, and it's like they just expected you to be in this energy here. All right, expectation and orphaned. This could be, you know, this person could be part of a community. I do feel like there is a community or like a group of people that could be, you know, just watching you somehow or some type of way here. Or checking in on you or something like that. Because there is this energy, you know, again, it's like this person is having their own, I don't know, somehow it's... it's like, I don't know who this is, but it's like they expected to see you, you know, kind of like shriveled up and unhappy and sad and miserable and, you know, but they're finding that you're happy. You know what I mean? That you're doing well, that you are, you know, it's that type of energy. I don't know why this person's like mad about it. Well, it may be because they're experiencing this judgment, right? And so it's like they may be comparing themselves to you in some type of way because they're going through judgment, and maybe you're, you know, you're doing all right. I do feel like there is an energy where somebody does want you to feel maybe a little bit abandoned here, right? This would be somebody that comes in real quick, gaslights you, love bombs you, and then just bails, and then it expects, you know, you to be all upset about it. I don't see that happening here, okay? Yeah, it's like somebody, I don't know, for whatever reason, didn't really believe that you had been working hard on yourself, right? That you really do love yourself. There's some sort of jealousy here. All right. So let's clean it up. Toil, labor, occupation, poverty. Yeah, what I feel like this energy is for you, collective, like what you need to know about you at this time is this veil is being removed about these projections or these limitations or judgments. These are being removed so that you can step back into that courage to be like your authentic self, right? It's this recognition that, you know what I mean? It's like, recognizing that whatever you had internalized was just their wounding, their projections, their fears, their opinions, their, you know what I mean? And so this makes me feel like you're bossing up, right? Because this is an energy where it's like whatever it was made you feel small, kept you small, kept you shrinking down. But removing this veil is helping you to like stand tall, okay, and just be that main character regardless of what anyone thinks, right? But there was a main judge or a main critic that I think that had, you know, so there was a lot of weight in your life that really made you feel small here. This person is now going through their own judgment, okay? And you're calling your power back from this. You're, you know what I mean? Like this is, and it's helping you boss up here. Yeah. I can't also help but feel like if this person, you know, they thought that you were sad and upset or whatever, you know, and they came and they checked on you and they found that you were not, that you were doing well, living happy, healthy, you know, all of those things. I can't help but think that this person, you know, maybe tried to send some sort of entity or try to attach some sort of entity to you or your business or your life, your friends, your family, your house, whatever it is, okay? But because of this protection coming out here, you know what I mean? Why else would it need to be here? If this person didn't have necessarily like bad intentions. Somebody wanted you to chase them. They certainly did. This may not be, I don't think it's this person. It may be. It may be. But they did. They wanted you to, whoever this was is obsessed with money. And that's where this all that glitters isn't gold thing comes in, right? That obsession with money and having and, you know, creating your value based on the things that you have and, you know, the amount of money that's in your account and, you know, all of these different things. That's a human thing, right? This is you removing that veil and remembering like, oh yeah, right? Like, money's irrelevant probably anywhere else that I go. This is just, you know what I mean? It's like, but it's like this person I think was very obsessed with money here, okay? And that could have been a lot of where their restrictions and their limitations came from. Was their obsession with money. Money made them feel safe, right? Money you should not rely on money to feel safe. You should rely on the divine. You should rely on God, source, the divine, the universe to feel safe, right? That should be a feeling within you, not something external to you making you feel that way. Okay, but that's where these limitations came from, right? That's where these, whatever came from, because that's what made this person feel safe, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we have ancestors. All right, what is this message of concern with this blessed? Yeah, there's some blessings that are coming towards you, because we have unexpected money coming out here twice. And I'm not going to take that as just money, right? It could come in the form of money. I feel like there's multiple blessings coming towards you. We've got this nice guy here too, so this could also be like some sort of friendship, some sort of companionship in some type of way, okay? But I do feel like there are some blessings coming towards you here. Unexpected ones, okay? Unexpected ones. Yeah, I feel like somebody, maybe they just like try to put some sort of like, because we have health concerns with this unexpected money, right? This is like somebody trying to project some sort of like unhealthy energy onto your finances possibly here, okay? But we also have this emotional pain here. So this could have also been too, right, where somebody could have maybe, especially with this unexpected income coming on this all that glitters, somebody could have been trying to project some sort of emotional pain here through some sort of gift. And I picked up on that a lot, right? Not all money is good money, okay? It doesn't all come from good sources. It doesn't all, you know what I mean? And so there's this energy where I do feel like somebody was maybe trying to cause some sort of health concern or some sort of emotional pain or some sort of imbalance by, through some sort of energy exchange with like some sort of either, like I said, unexpected money, or it could be just a physical, tangible thing. But this has been blocked here, right? So this is the message of concern. Whatever they were trying to do is not working. You are blessed. You feel blessed. You radiate that energy, that divine energy, that vibrant energy, right? That type of, a lot of you are already back into this space where you've stepped into this courageous energy to be your authentic self here. And that's what made this person mad. It's like, yeah. And so they may have done something, right? And it may actually be kind of rising up this programming a little bit, but we'll just thank them for that, because you are the master alchemizer, right? You know how to heal yourself at this point. So thank you for bringing up the illusion so that I can see through it and remove that veil. Awesome, right? Like that's this type of energy. And this is exactly what's happening. Okay, it's exactly what's happening. Okay. So tell me about this unexpected income. Yeah, I just feel like somebody tried to put some sort of energy on your finances, right? Thinking that you like this person are obsessed with money, and you're not. You enjoy peace and serenity, and your safety doesn't come from money. Now, some of you are still, you know, I feel like collectively we're still kind of really working on that, right? Because, you know, it does take time. But for a lot of you, you have moved past that point where money brings you the feeling of safety. You found that you've anchored in that safe feeling, in the knowing that you are cared for always. Yeah. But so over here we have this ascending, right? Of course. With this high honor at the bottom of the deck here. All right, tell me more. I can't help but feel like somebody was trying to send in some sort of like an energy, like, you know, trying to manifest maybe someone with some sort of entity attachment to give you some sort of love offer. Like, I can't help but feel like somebody was trying to conjure up some sort of energy to come towards you in some sort of romantic way. Okay? To maybe even cause some sort of, yeah, look, we have relationship healer. That's you, right? Because you've learned how to heal yourself and things like that. Okay? Death magic, right? This relationship, the intention was for this death magic to cause some sort of abuse, right? And bondage. But you didn't, you either were like, I feel like you either, you know, picked up on that, right? And you're like, whoa, funky energy, eh? You know, like that type of, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm cool, right? Or you will. I think whoever this is, they're mad because they're under their own judgment here, and they didn't realize they were dealing with an earth angel. Do you know what I mean? Which I feel like even if they weren't dealing with an earth angel, that's shitty behavior and they should be under their own judgment. But I feel like dealing with an earth angel, their judgment is a little bit more extreme, probably. Maybe. I'm not sure. You know, I don't make the rules. I also don't pass out judgment. You know what I mean? I just feel like maybe, yeah, because, you know, the earth angel is there to give you the opportunity to make the right decision. To move from a space of compassion and unconditional love and not judgment. And, you know, and that's why oftentimes the earth angel shows up in situations with addictions and being homeless, or, you know, the earth angel is also, you know, maybe the CEO somewhere, right? But it could also be the janitor, right? It's like that type of situation where, you know, the earth angel gives people the opportunity to, you know, move from a space of divinity rather than ego. Okay. All right. So tell me, let's get this. Yeah, somebody's concerned because you're ascending. Yeah. We've heard it all before. All right. Unexpected money with all the glitters and gold. You know what, too? Also, as you're seeing through the veil in your own way of this all that glitters that isn't gold, right? It's like, you know, all of the things that, you know, humans idolize and desire and all of those things. You're seeing through that veil. This person or someone is also seeing through a veil when it comes to maybe like a karmic feminine energy. Okay, I do feel like this karmic feminine energy may be somehow involved, possibly. I'm not exactly sure, but this could also be somebody separate. I'll be honest. There's like this, you know what I'm picking up on? It's like this very divine family here, like bloodline or something like that, in which like somebody, I don't know. It's, to me, it would have to be, I feel like, because karmic energy, again, I think we all experience karmic energy, and, you know, you have the option to choose to come out of that into, you know, a divine energy here. Okay. But it almost feels like somebody, you know, had a very divine bloodline here, and they unknowingly like allowed a like Jezebel type energy, or like a, you know, a karmic energy that was not meant to heal, right? That was not meant to grow into her divinity in this lifetime. Something like that. It feels like there's somebody seeing through the veil when it comes to a certain energy. And I can't help but feel like this is separate. It's like this is all tied into what you're really seeing, the veil that you're seeing through, but this makes me feel like there's something else going on here. But it's not, I don't know if it's associated with you. It could all be tied together, but yeah. But yeah, guys, this is what's going on. But again, I'm gonna circle back around and reference, you know, what you're experiencing right now is that veil of judgment that had been placed on you because your authenticity made somebody feel uncomfortable, right? There's kind of this expectation of abandonment type energy is being removed here. That limitation, that restriction, that illusion is being removed, and it feels like you're able to you know, kind of call your power back here, release those judgments that you had unknowingly internalized, and kind of boss up. You know what I mean? But you are very blessed here. Okay? Oh gosh. I think that's the divine saying, the message is over. It's a good message, though. We ended with self-love over here. We like that. Yeah, there's certainly a false person that's being discovered here, okay? But for you, I feel like it's a false illusion. You know what I mean? False beliefs. But any hoosers. All right, guys. Well, I will jump. Again, don't forget to put your flower or your fairy in the comments of the video, like after the fact, if you want to enter to win one of these lovely decks. And yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Sign it. Should I sign them? That'd be funny. But anyways, alright guys. I love you so much. I hope you have a fantastic day. Have fun seeing through this veil. Standing up taller. Feeling better about yourself. Releasing those restrictions that are not yours. Okay. Love you guys.